So what can we do about this defense? Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric, and once again, we are live on a Friday evening. This time a little bit later, 7 o'clock, and we are taking it to the street, so to speak. And we're going to talk about this defensive side of the ball. Last week, we talked about the offensive side, and there's a lot more holes, in my opinion, to fill on this side of the ball than the other one. We'll talk about how the defense did last year to the year before, and we're going to talk about potential players that we can fill in these major holes, both in free agency and in the draft coming up in April. I want to say hello to you guys. I see a couple people already in here. How are you guys doing tonight? Let me see. What you guys, let's see. So give me a holler. Give me a holler and say hello. I want to say hi to you guys as well. Let's see. That said, I see you guys falling into place. Of course, I had Officer roll out with a little comment there. Of course, we also have our live poll. If you want to take a look at that, we're also going to be talking about Derek Carr and the latest news going on with this potential trade to the Saints. And the live poll reflects that. We're also going to go with the plan B for the Raiders, it looks like, and some news on him as far as the quarterback issue. So with that said, let's get right to the program here. I want to say thank you to you guys. And if you are new to the program, this is how we normally do it. It's called the Rundown. And let's see. We have our topics right here all the way down. And then at the end, we're going to have a question and answer segment as we normally do. And you'll be able to go live on here. Do not have to show you your face on camera, of course. But you can sound off here. Give me your opinion on what I put out or the Raiders in general, the NFL in general. If you want to talk about the Super Bowl, it's coming this Sunday, of course. Fly Eagles Fly, of course, on that. And with that said, let's get to our first subject. And that, of course, is you guys, and that is the champions.
I hear everyone say it, take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
Now, of course, the Raider champion count, I do appreciate each and every one of you. And lately, this count keeps going up and up. I said I was going to make a little few moves from behind the scenes, see if I could shake that number up a little bit, and it absolutely has. And I'm averaging 1 to 2 subs per day now, which does not sound like much, but given the big scope of where this channel is basically flatlined, a lot more growth and a lot more potential here and a lot more optimism here at the channel. And I do appreciate that, each and every one of you. I also going to be broadcasting live only on the YouTube side because the TikTok side does not get a whole lot of viewers for this type of content only during games. We'll probably do that. We'll simulcast there as well. But again, thank you for each and every one of you that have come here and do continue to come to the channel. Now, as we always do, we have our poll of the week. And it's usually reflective of what we want to talk about here. And this week, of course, is no exception. I asked you guys, I wanted to know what you guys had to say, which defensive area would be the most important position or area to fill this offseason. I did this with the offensive side last week, and overwhelmingly, you guys said defensive tackle, and cornerback was second, linebacker kind of distant third. Nobody said other, so I guess we're okay at safety and edge. That's okay. I got to agree with you, and I will get into that shortly. Of course, we haven't had I don't think we've had a real good all-pro type defensive tackle since Richard Seymour, and we had to trade a first-round pick for that guy. So I absolutely agree with you. Corner is another area of interest. We'll get to that. Of course, this could very well be the 3 areas we focus on in our defensive review. And yes, this is our defensive review. Let's get right to it like we did on the offensive side.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
And of course, like we did on the offensive side that we did last week, I'll show you right now that we did. We going over the defensive side of the ball first, and same rules apply here. The people that are in red are actually unrestricted free agents. We have a restricted free agent here in Bolton. Those that are in yellow are on the last year of their current contract, and then the ones in silver we have for at least 2 seasons. Raiders finished 28th overall in the yards per game. A steep decline from last season where we finished about middle of the road. A lot of issues with this team and a lot of holes we're going to get to. And the first one, of course, we're going to talk about, and what you want to talk about, is defensive tackle. It just makes sense. Again, this has been an area of issue, an area of need for quite some time. And the big thing we've needed is some interior pass rush now. We have picked up a few players. We drafted Neil Farrell Jr. last season. Still to be said whether or not he's going to pan out. Joey Tillery we picked up off the scrap heap. Did okay. We talked about that in the salary cap. Wouldn't mind that. We're going to bring this all together. But first, let's get to our options here at defensive tackle. Let's talk first about the oncoming free agents. Now, of course, this could very well change if players are franchise tagged. We saw that a couple years ago where we needed a free safety. We ended up drafting Trevon Merrick, players like Simmons, Marcus May. A lot of those guys were franchise tagged at free safety position. This could very well happen as well. I'm going to start with Javon Hargrave, an absolute stud. He has been for quite some time now. And I'm thinking they're going to let him go because I think they're probably going to... they're either going to keep him or Fletcher Cox. I'm thinking they're going to keep Cox. It's going to be a little bit cheaper for them. But he comes with a high price tag, and I'm estimating $18 million. I believe SpotTrack.com has him at almost $20 million. I'm not so sure if he's going to get that much money, but I think $18 million is probably fairly realistic. Next one is Dalvin Tomlinson. I talked about this guy 2 years ago, possibly being a replacement for us. And another guy, a guy who was in the New York Giants system. So some familiarity with Patrick Graham. I understand that. Solid player. He's going to get you anywhere 3 to 4 sacks a year. He disrupts. He can get in there. Plays the run decently. Good enough, but... again, the price tag is going to be commensurate with that. Of course, Hargrave's going to demand a top dollar. Tomlinson's going to be a lot cheaper. Not quite as good, obviously. Same thing with Sheldon Rankins. Kind of similar stats. Similar type of game. Rankins is a little bit smaller, but he is disruptive. Now, you could say, well, that could be a product of the New York Jets system. Very well could be. I'm guessing it's going to demand around $7 million to pick him up. And then I wanted to go over some of the players in the draft coming in here in the 2023 NFL draft. Of course, Jalen Carter's the top prospect, demanding probably a top 5 pick. That's why I put an asterisk here. It says first round draft pick. I don't think we could get him at number 7. We'd have to move up. University of Georgia can kind of do everything. And it would be very interesting. I think if we were going to keep Derek Carr and quarterback was not a priority, there could be a realistic expectation of trying to move up to get this guy. However, with quarterback looming right now, we'll see. We'll talk about a little bit more about some options there. I don't see us moving up just to get this guy, and I don't think he's going to fall to 7. If he did, that would be an absolute steal. Kind of like Micah Parsons last year. I was hoping he would fall. Obviously, that did not happen. Next guy is Brian Bresee, Clemson. Had an issue with his ACL in 2021. Came back pretty well. I'm not so sure about this guy, to be honest with you. He's had some injury issues. Not just that, something with his kidneys this season. He had some off-the-field issues with some family members. I'm not going to get too far into that, but kind of shows his character. He's a good character guy, very versatile, but might be a little too injury-prone, especially to be taking him at number 7. if we were to try possibly move back in the middle or late round, I think that would probably be a better value. But at 7, I just could not see that happening. And then we have Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh. A lot of people are high on this guy. His big thing is that he basically lives in the backfield. He's done that, especially this season. Took a nice, huge jump this season. Big disruptor, not only in the passing game, but also in the run game. My issue is might be a little too small. He's only 6 foot, 280, but Aaron Donald wasn't the biggest guy either. He's getting some comparison to that. I'm not so sure about that, but I think he could be a disruptor and an option. I think 7th overall pick's a little too high for that. And then Siaki Ika, this big kid from Baylor. Holy mackerel, 6'4", 3 listed at 355, probably closer to 370. Let's be honest. A lot of people were thinking that maybe he would take a jump, kind of like Jordan Davis did the year before. Not so much, and it's kind of weird because you would expect a guy this big would be pretty good at the run. Not so much. His mainstay is more of the pass rush, which is a little bit different. A knock on this guy, though, is a lot of people say he's inconsistent. He takes plays off. It'll be very interesting to see this kid at the combine, especially what Jordan Davis did. I think there was kind of some similar issues with Jordan Davis last year before the combine. They were afraid that he was not going to be in good shape, and he kind of proved them wrong. So I'm wondering if he's going to kind of pull the same thing and get into that first round. Right now, currently projected in the 2nd round. So those are some of the options that we have at defensive tackle, both in the draft and in free agency. Of course, Jerry Tillery is an option as well to re-sign relatively cheap. The next area I want to talk about, of course, would be cornerback. And basically, Rocky Sin is all we basically had coming into the season as far as an outside corner. Then he went down. We basically were just kind of picking guys up off the scrap heap. We really need some players here. Here are some of the 2 major free agents that are coming out here. Marcus Peters, James Bradbury. Let's go with Marcus Peters first. Of course, if you're a Raiders fan, you know this name. He used to be on the Chiefs. Mr. Crotch Grabbing on his pick 6, if you remember that. I think he actually got fined for that. And that kind of goes towards his attitude. Very good player. Huge attitude, has gotten fined several times. Can this Raiders team keep a hold of him? I'm saying he's going to go for about $12 million. Spot Track says he's about 10. I'm not so sure about that. He was making that before, so came back from an injury, a little bit off. I only had 1 interception last year. Maybe we could give him a little cheaper, but I think he definitely could be an option at corner, depending on how much we want to spend there. And the next one was James Bradbury, of course, Philadelphia. A lot of talk about him last season coming here with Patrick Graham, of course, another Giants guy. A very solid corner. Obviously, he had 2 interceptions in that game 2 seasons ago against the Raiders. Looking very good. That's an option as well. I'm saying about $10 million it would take to secure him. And why not come back to his guy right here, Patrick Graham. And then I just went over 3 possible cornerbacks that we could draft relatively early. We'd have to use an early pick here. That's the problem here, picking 7th. We probably have to trade down. I'm not so sure Witherspoon will be there at 7. He very well could be consensus number 1. Of course, that could change by the time we get to the draft in April. My kind of knock on this guy is he's relatively small, 6 foot, 180. He is ranked 12th on PFF. He had a big jump last year in his 3rd season, 92 grade at PFF. Can kind of do it all. Some knocks on him about is his hips. Can he keep up with a quicker NFL game? I'm not so sure if we should burn a pick, especially a high pick with a guy like that. And then we have 2 guys that are kind of a lot more comparable, and that's Christian Gonzalez, Oregon, Joey Porter of Penn State. Both bigger kids, 6'2", about 200 pounds, each of them. Kind of more physical type of press guys. Of course, Joey Porter is the son of Joey Porter. That Joey Porter, the linebacker from Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, not as big as his dad, but kind of plays with that same kind of attitude that his dad had. Christian Gonzalez, same thing with Oregon. I think those two guys could be a possibility again. I think at 7th, that's a little too high unless we trade down and maybe do that. But you never know what the Raiders are going to do, especially when we still have this quarterback need. Now, the third hole that I feel we need to fill is, of course, at linebacker. It's been a while now. Denzel Perryman, like I said, he's an unrestricted free agent. They chose not to try to make an extension, or they couldn't get it done. I didn't hear any news about trying to re-sign him last offseason. He is now officially an unrestricted free agent. He's on the top of my list. I think he's a great middle linebacker, of course, Pro Bowl guy, 2 years now. And I'm not going to say he's great at stopping the pass or defending the pass. Of course not. That's not his game. His game is sniffing out the run, feeling the gaps. And you could tell with the Raiders' run defense, when he was hurt, it was night and day. You could tell the difference. And I think if we can get him, I'm like I said in my salary cap video, if we can get him at $8.5 million, I like that. I think that's fair. And we could plug this big hole. Now, Levante David, if we can't get Perryman, Levante David's probably the best middle linebacker out there right now. I'm thinking it's going to be about 10 to 12 million to get him. And then we got some options here. Now, I added some outside linebackers. I'll talk about those right now. Trenton Simpson, consensus number 1 linebacker. I think that we definitely should not draft a linebacker in the first round. This is probably mid to late at best, in my opinion. But it's that second round pick. This is very well could be a linebacker position for us. Of course, depending on how free agency shakes out. And then we have Drew Sanders here. This kid from Alabama, he started as an edge rusher. They moved him out to outside linebacker. So you can get another presence here. He might be better suited in a 3-4 type of off-ball linebacker position, kind of like a Melvin Ingram would play with the Chargers in that. Maybe not so much of a good fit here with a 4-3 unless we directly go to there. Extremely talented, can rush the ball, or rush the passer rather. So that could definitely be an option for us as well. And then the next two I'm a little bit excited about. These are right now projected as middle round picks, but of course we don't know what's going to happen as far as the combine and all that. Jack Campbell and Demarion Overshone. And let's talk about Jack Campbell first. Big kid, 6'5", 246, kind of built as a middle linebacker to play this game. Very, very solid tackler. Good, pretty good in pass coverage, that short pass coverage. Not going to get a whole lot of pass rush out of the guy, but he's kind of more of an old school type of guy. Sniff it out. If we can't get Perryman, get this guy in the middle rounds, I think we'd be just fine. Now, Demarion Overshone from Texas. If you don't know this guy, this kid is like a physical freak. 6'4", 224, can run laterally all over the place. He can rush the passer. Very good at the run defense as well, sniffing it out. I think he could be very versatile as well. You could put him in or out. Even if we do keep Perryman, you could put him out at outside linebacker. But the problem and the knock with him is the way he tackles. He doesn't wrap up. He needs a little bit more fundamentals. It's probably why he's going in the middle rounds. Otherwise, he'd probably be going a lot higher. Now, with that said, these are the holes I'm seeing in 2023. And I just had to show this because I did the similar type of thing last season. I got to show this, guys. Now, this is a screenshot of my presentation last season of holes we need to fill. Something look familiar, guys? Defensive tackle, cornerback, linebacker. We finished the season 14th overall. Now we finished 28. So what the hell is going on here? There were some really good ones here. Ogunjobi would have been solid here. Jordan Davis we probably wouldn't have been able to get. Khair Elam is having a pretty good year. Bryce Callahan's a slot guy, I know that, but that would have been a lot better off in the corner and the cornerback position. Devin Lloyd, we would have had him moved up. Mike Jones was there. We could have had him probably in the third round. Then some of these guys, Anthony Barr kind of went late in free agency. We could have picked him up at least for a leadership there. But that didn't happen. And this defense has regressed. And quite frankly, it's kind of worrying me. It's been worrying me, this regime, as far as not only has the defense regressed, now we don't have a quarterback. And now the clock is ticking on this whole Carr deal or cut. And as it says, February 15th is our deadline. If we have to cut him by then, or he will be due $40 million. I talked about that before. It's going to be 35 this year and 5 the next year. So give you the latest and greatest on the Derek Carr saga here. Now, he did go to see the Saints on Wednesday. He stayed an extra day and brought his wife with him and spent the whole time. It sounds like it went real well. There has been no word about any kind of an official trade from any sources or any of either of the organizations. I'm wondering what's going on here, to be honest with you, because remember, I talked about this before. Derek Carr has also said out in public that he will not be flexible on that February 15th deadline. If like I said, if we don't cut him by February 15th, then we owe him $40 million. We have to trade him in principle because the season doesn't start in March. And it's going to be very interesting because he's not going to budge on it. And honestly, why should he? So that gets us into the rumor mill. Of course, Plan B. I'm going to say Plan B is Aaron Rodgers. I think Plan A all along was Tom Brady. And there's some weird news from him. I want to talk about this. Aaron Rodgers is going to go on a darkness retreat. If you haven't heard about this, he is kind of pondering his future. Now, is this just all smoke, or is this really going to happen? Because a lot of times he was kind of alluding that he would retire. A couple of things with that, though. Number one, he does have a demand. I think he'll make at least 40 if he does come here. So we're actually going to be paying him more than Derek Carr. He's better than Derek Carr, but still. Number two, and more importantly, a lot of people talk about this, that if he retires now, of course, he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but you also know who else would be a first ballot Hall of Famer that same year? That's Tom Brady. So does he want to be second banana to Tom Brady? Obviously, 7 rings with Brady. He's only got 1. Is this darkness retreat a bunch of crap, or is he actually have to ponder that and maybe have some humility and be okay with that? And this all kind of gets back to how this situation's been kind of messed up right here with this regime. I have to say this, guys. The way that Derek Carr's contract was laid out, it was very pro cap friendly, but it was also very Derek Carr friendly. It showed that he should be here. It showed that we had a vote of confidence in him, because that's why this deadline is before the official season start. It kind of puts us as an organization in a pickle. And it really kind of shows what in the hell is going on with this regime. You know, you got this going on. To me, it sounds like he's going to get cut. If we can get something from him, from them, maybe a 3rd round pick, if that. And if I still think that Derek Carr's just taking this opportunity to check out the Saints and then go sign with them. Now, I know he's due $35 million, $40 million guaranteed for the next 2 seasons, 35 and 5. But a lot of people don't understand that the salary cap is estimated to go up $30 million this year. The price tags on everybody is going to go up with that. So paying a quarterback $35 or $40 million isn't that big of a deal when you look into the future. So I could see New Orleans backloading that. Of course, they've had salary cap issues, but they've had that for years. So they've been able to manage it. So if they want Derek Carr, they can get him. But why give up draft capital for this guy when you could talk to him and say, okay, look, you wait until we're cut. We'll come in. We'll offer you a deal, something close to that, maybe 25 and 25 will give you maybe even more guaranteed money over the next 2 years. Who knows? It's like this guy is like the biggest friggin' clown, and he hired another clown, and now the whole league is clowning us. And now, since Tom Brady retired, that kind of clowned us, because I think that was their intention all along, to sign Tom Brady in the offseason, make another big splash. And now they got to beg and plead with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And who knows what he's still under contract, so who knows what we're going to have to give up to get this guy. It's like clueless begats clueless begats clueless. And this franchise has been shit for 20 years because of this idiot right here. But of course, I want to know what you guys have to say. How are you guys doing tonight? I see some comments in here already. I want to know if you agree with me on that, because, you know, you might not agree. That's your prerogative, but I'm not seeing it, honestly. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the problems here. I'm seeing issue after issue after issue. I know a lot of people couldn't stand Gus Bradley. This defense under Gus Bradley was a lot better. And we had the same holes, if not bigger, than we did this time last year. So I'm just talking about the defensive side. We had a quarterback last year. I mean, that's the biggest position in the NFL right now, especially since it's a two-hand touch league. So I want to know what you guys have to say. If you want, you can very well, hang on. Let me see. I've got the chat going here. I'm going to, some people said we should do StreamYard. I've got StreamYard. I'm doing it on a trial basis. Hang on, let me get this out over here. So let me put the, hang on one second. I did mess with StreamYard. I'm gonna put this in the pinned comment right now. If you want to come on to StreamYard, try it out. There we go. I pinned it. Of course, we also have our voting. I got 10 votes in here so far. Most of you think the saga will end in a trade. I'm not so sure. I'm still thinking cut, unless Derek Carr does us a solid. Let's be honest. He doesn't have to do shit for us. And he's talking to the Saints. Raiders don't know what they're talking with him and Dennis Allen and the brass in New Orleans are talking about. He doesn't know. Mark Davis and company have no idea what's really going on there. Let's be honest. I mean, this could all just be a ploy by New Orleans just to get to talk to Derek Carr and get some early interviews going and get some goodwill to get him signed as a free agent after he's cut. Let's be honest here. Raider Wolf. Yeah, and I agree too. I agree with that because, hang on. I'm having a little problem with my Twitch. Give me 1 second. But if you want to come in, you click that link. It's just like the restream. I was testing it on multiple accounts. I'm hoping that it should work. But I haven't gone live with it. So we could try the StreamYard out if you want to come on and chat. I do have the restream available if this does not work out as a plan B. Raider Wolf says, haha. Yeah, Josh McDaniels and Ziegler got egg in their face, thinking they would get rid of Carr and get Brady. I think that's what happened. I think, honestly, I think that was a plan in the works for a while, especially after the Pittsburgh Steelers game. They basically kind of gave up those last 2 weeks. They didn't want to get Carr get hurt. If you didn't know, if Carr would have gotten hurt, his contract would have been fully guaranteed, not just this $40 million nonsense, the entire thing, every year of it. So it made sense, but to get Tom Brady, I mean, why? I mean, what are they doing here? I don't understand that. Let's see. Hang on 1 second. I want to try to give me 1 second. I gotta let's see. Let me try to let's see. having some issues with my Twidget. And the Twidget puts the comments up here. I don't know why it's not working right now. It should be working. I see a lot of good comments out there, so I want to let's see. It just says it's loading. Unfortunately, it just says it's loading. It's not coming up. I will try to reset that. So in the meantime, I got Raider Wolf talking a little bit more here. He will be successful in New Orleans because they have a good defense. They have Alvin Kamara and NC South's really his division. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I talked about that last week. But that doesn't mean we're going to get anything for him. I mean, this is kind of dumb, and I know some of the people on some of these sports shows were laughing and we're hoping almost that that maybe a trade could be done, and then they're going to come back around and pull a Josh McDaniels after the deadline and say, nah, we don't feel like it, and then now the Raiders are on the hook for $40 million, 35-5. So it's just like, do they know what they're doing? I really question that. Patrick Graham was supposed to be an upgrade for this defense. The defense has regressed. Not a whole lot, honestly, done on the defense except for the Chandler Jones thing. And let's face it, he's been a bust. And that contract is terrible. And we've talked about that in the salary cap. I actually showed it. I showed the screenshot of it. And we're upside down on that. We got him for 2 more years. I think after this offseason, we could get rid of him. We could just cut him for a nominal cap hit. Right now, it's impossible. It would be too much. And I don't think anybody's going to want to trade for him. So we're stuck there. And when you swing and miss that big, it's going to affect a lot of other things. Oh God. If Brady, I don't even know if I want to read that. Officer Rollout, how you doing tonight? I don't know if I want to read that. Honestly, I don't know. Let's see. But anyway, let's get over here. Let's see what else you got here. Anyway, what else you got to say? Something about Brady. I'm not gonna mention it. But suffice it to say, it's funny. Trying not to get in too much trouble. If you don't know, I've gotten in a few digs. Usually with the other platform, but I have gotten a little trouble with this one. So I'm gonna try to be careful here. Let's just say. But you guys are really funny. You guys crack me up a lot. You guys crack me up all the time, I'll tell you. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Usually with the other platform, but I have gotten a little trouble. I don't know why that's coming on there. Oh, this whole my Twidget account, it's kind of messed up. Anyway. Yeah. I thought it was funny too. Officer Rollout, hilarious. So, I urge you guys, if you want to come on again, I got it in the pinned comment. I am trying StreamYard. You guys, a couple of you said I should try StreamYard. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens with it. I tried some of the functionality, especially the green screen. Not so good, actually. I think OBS does a better job with it. There's like one setting that you can adjust, and you can't manipulate the camera with it, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So totally PG. I'm not talking about some fresh underwear. That is not PG. Fresh underwear is not PG. But that said, let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying. I want to get your comments out here. I mean, this is part of the deal. I'm going to try to get your comments out here. the Twidget's kind of acting funny. I'm wondering if it has to do with StreamYard. It's worked the last few times. Unfortunately, it's not working right now. I could usually highlight some activity here, but let's see. Wait. It's weird. It's telling me to wait. It's like, okay. So anyway, saw it on TV. But anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to go on StreamYard? You can go right here. Whoop. And I got the link in the description. We can talk. You want to say something. You want to have your 2 cents. I'd really like to try the StreamYard out. If you want to come on, if you don't have to show your face on camera, just come on and talk. You can do that as well. If not, we'll go to Restream if it doesn't work. I'm not so worried about that. So, so anyway, let's see. Let me try to double check that. It's on, but it's not coming. So, bought 2, got 1 free. Oh man, you guys are just hilarious. So anyway, I want to know what kind of free agents are you looking at on the defensive side of the ball? I want to hear that. I want to hear about any players that you're excited about. I would like to hear that. I would like to I would say that Demarion Overshawn, the way he plays like an old school Raider. If we can get him in the middle rounds, that would be great. Even if we have to put him on the outside, honestly, I think he's probably better suited inside. If we can clean up that tackling ability, get him wrapped better. It's more fundamentals. I think talent-wise, he's there. He would be a total Al Davis pick, honestly, with that. So let's see. See. Red Wolf says, do you want Aaron Rodgers? No, not now. And I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, it's going to cost more money. I think I would rather roll with Stidham and one of these early draft quarterbacks, whichever one they want. I'm kind of leaning towards Richardson. He'd be kind of an experiment, but at this point, this team isn't really ready to win, and this got to face some cold hard truth, especially with this defense. I don't know what's going on with it, but it was awful, especially in the pass side. We got maxxcrosby, and that's about it. It's pretty much all we got. So I wouldn't mind experimenting with a guy like that, a Cam Newton kind of arm. I would say a Lamar type of mobility at quarterback. Like I said, it'd be a risk. I wouldn't want to move up for him. Maybe at 7. That would be kind of a reach at 7, but still, I wouldn't mind that. If you want to go with Stroud, to me, he's probably the biggest sure thing of the 4. If you look at Young, Stroud, and Levis and Richardson, I would say Stroud's probably your best bet. I still question Levis's consistency as far as the decision making and the accuracy. Big kid, and then Young, I think he's just too small. Look at Kyler Murray. I mean, when's he going to be back? Will he even be back next year? We don't even know. I know it's a 2-hand touch league, but still these guys get hurt. So I think it's a little bit too small, and I don't want to risk a draft pick that high or to even move up with Chicago for that. That would be kind of crazy for me. Let's see. I think the Twidget's dead tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I put your comments up. That is very unfortunate. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I'm wondering if it has to do with StreamYard. I could shut down the StreamYard. Let me shut down the StreamYard and try this because it should work. It's worked every time. I think we've used it like 3 or 4 times now. Basically, it's an app that's attached to OBS to put your comments up, and it works pretty well usually. Now though, not so much. So it's just kind I mean, I could just shut everything down and restart it, but I'm not gonna shut the stream down for that. So, unfortunately, it looks like that one's not going to be available tonight. Maybe another reason why not to go to StreamYard. I just got the freebie one. It's kind of limited in what you can do. Like the ticker, you can do that on there, but you gotta get the premium one. Otherwise, it's just a big StreamYard ticker. Who the hell wants to see that? I mean, come on. It's an absolute joke. So let's see. Let me try the restream. See if that'll work. So I put it on let's see. Got it on our restream. That's what we normally use. If you guys want to use that. I'm wondering if the StreamYard messed it up. Because I'm kind of doing part of one and part of another, because frankly the green screen on StreamYard's terrible. It's just terrible. This is way better. I think the big thing is getting rid of these, maybe, and trying to get that mic to work and just going from there. I think that's probably the best bet. Otherwise, StreamYard just wasn't working on that. So Taylor Heineke of the Commandos wants a starting gig and can be had for scale. I don't want Taylor Heineke. I don't want him. I'd rather have Jared Stidham. I mean, to me, that's 6 1/2, and Stidham knows the system. And Stidham can play decently in relief. I don't think we're going to go anywhere with the guy. I'll be honest with that. But why would we want Taylor Heineke for? What's going to be the attraction here? And one of the things I talked about before was that the Raiders are more business minded than winning minded, right? And I hate to say it. Al Davis isn't here anymore. His son's here, and he's more worried about making a buck. And to do that, is he just going to turn this into a visitor stadium and completely say screw the fans, or what? But if he's not going to do that, he needs to make some kind of splash. Like I said, last season, we got a new regime in here. Josh McDaniels, offensive mastermind guy, whatever. Patrick Graham did pretty well with that Giants defense, especially when the Giants offense was trash. Kept him in a lot of games. A lot of optimism there. We got huge players on both sides of the ball. Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones. We extended maxxcrosby, Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr got an extension. It looked like the band was back together. Now, of course, there were some holes, but from a promotional standpoint, you could say, hey, we were 10-7 last year. We got Devontae Adams now, arguably the best receiver in the game. We got Chandler Jones on the other side of maxxcrosby creating havoc. We're going to shake things up in the AFC West. Look out, KC. I think that's how it was marketed. Obviously, it didn't turn out that way. But what my point is, what are the Raiders going to do from a business standpoint, a marketing standpoint, to get the fans back? I mean, can we really trust this regime? Can we trust Mark Davis and Ziegler and McDaniels right now? I don't know. The proof of the pudding is in the eating, and the pudding tastes like shit. Let's just be honest. That's the way it is. So, let's see. Officer Rollout says, saw Taylor Heineke on Pat McAfee's show. He beat the Eagles. So what? So what? He beat the Eagles. That's a division game. So what? We almost beat the Chiefs. So what? We lost by 1 point. Big deal. We're nowhere near them as far as the team goes right now. This defense is terrible. So division teams always play against each other hard. Even when they suck, they usually play harder for those. Raider Wolf says, I know I'm not buying tickets. Yeah. I urged that during the season. I got a lot of flack for it, to be honest with you. Got some flack, got some hate, so to speak, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. Still trying to get this this crap done with this. I don't know. I honestly think the Twidget got messed up. My app got messed up because of the StreamYard. That's what I think happened. So I'm trying to do everything I can to try to fix this. So unfortunately, let's see. Yeah. So anyway, kind of crazy though. So again, I am in the restream. You can see it right there. So if you want to come on in, you can come on in. We've had pretty good success with that as far as people logging in and talking on there. I'm not going to say it's been completely without issue, but for the most part, not too bad. Not too bad. And I really think that I really think that this thing's messed up. Sorry guys. This unfortunately, I don't think this is going to work. Still trying to fix this behind the scenes, but if you want to come on, you click on that link right here. Let me pin that one. Let me pin this one. There we go. I replaced the pinned comment. So I did turn off the StreamYard. Having some problems with it. You want to come on, deal with that. You can say your piece. You go into a green room. I'll let you on. You don't have to be on camera. Go ahead and talk. So, and next week, what we're going to be doing is, now we've done the offensive side. We've done the defensive side. And I'm going to tell you, what I would do as GM. We're going to merge these two together between the salary cap with free agency and the draft, roughly who I'd want to get. Number two, I'm going to tell you what I think the regime's going to do. Plus, we're going to have a lot more news on this whole Derek Carson saga. We got 5 days left until the hand is forced one way or the other. So, again, if we can get something out of this deal as far as this organization goes, that's a win. They've kind of made their bed, and they're going to have to lie in it, unfortunately. So, let's see. Buy any tickets. Let's see. Scrolling up here. Sounds like Derek Carr will be traded by Monday. Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, I don't know. I'm still thinking why. Why would the Saints do this? Why would they do this to just have exclusive rights? Maybe. Honestly, I really think that why should they bother? Why should they bother? Why should they give up any draft capital? I get back to this. Derek Carr went to go visit them. As far as I know, it was just him. It wasn't Mark Davis with them and all this. So who knows what they're talking about? They could be saying, we'll hook you up after, in March, you become a free agent. Save us draft capital, make the team better. And, we'll balance the money out. We're always behind in the cap, but we always make it work. You know how we do things. Better team. Let's be honest, a better team. We haven't even talked about Josh Jacobs yet, guys. This is a mess. We're going to do franchise this guy, pay him $16 million. From latest reports, it kind of sounds like he would be okay with being franchised. I'm not so sure about that. If you have a season like that, why wouldn't you want to be paid? Running back shelf life is very short. Let's be honest, 4, 5, 6 years. The time is now for him to get paid. Why would he just be wanting a 1-year deal? I know it's the top 5, average of the top 5, about $16 million, but why would he want that? And number two, why would he want to stay here when he didn't get the extension? Basically, this regime didn't believe in him. Why would he want to stay here? He can go somewhere else. So let's see. Officer Rollout says, don't put out the farm on Rogers. Had a girlfriend like him once. You'll be standing there with your Mardi Gras beads in your hands. Well, the way he's talking, it's like, is he playing a game? Are there things? It's either there are things behind the scenes we don't know about, and we are going to get Rogers, and he knows it, and Green Bay knows it, and maybe we just haven't finalized anything yet. We don't have to say anything about that until March anyways. So who cares about that? He's going on this retreat, and he said a couple weeks or something. Even if that's happening, or is he just, I don't know. Is the specter of Tom Brady doesn't want to go in the same Hall of Fame class as him? That could be possible. How much does this guy have left? I know he's not an MVP type. He's still pretty damn good quarterback. Let's be honest. Still have Devontae, but how good is he going to be behind this line? How confident can I be that this regime will fix the problems on this line? Let's face it. We've been talking about right tackle since Gruden was here 2 years ago. With Brandon Parker being crap, and they picked out Alex Leatherwood, and he wasn't taking care of business. And my thought was, well, he's a rookie. He's going to have his bumps. They moved him to guard, I think, way too soon. Probably shattered his confidence. They left Brandon Parker there, who, in my opinion, is worse. I mean, he's been in the league, 5 years? He's still shit. And they move Alex Leatherwood in instead of letting him take his lumps. So, and then they just released Alex Leatherwood. He could have still played guard for us. Oh, by the way, our guards are terrible now. Alex Bars is trash. Dylan Parham did not look very good at left guard. Let's be honest with you. The vision's not there. I talked about him going to center. I think that makes sense. I'll probably stay with that next week when we do the wrap up with this. So, I don't know. Can somebody tell me what I should be optimistic about with this regime? That would be a question. Please answer it. If you are watching this on a replay, number one, why aren't you subscribed if you're watching this far so you can be here live? Number two, if you're here live, please put it down. And if you're not live, put it in the comment section. I'll respond to it. But why should we, not just me, why should Raider Nation be optimistic about this regime? Pretty good play calling against the Niners. I don't know. They got Devontae Adams. Well, I think Carr had a lot to do with getting Devontae Adams. So, I don't know. I'm still thinking. I mean, honestly, Zamir White they didn't really use, and when they used him, I'm not so sure if he could take that number one spot. I keep talking about that. Why did we move up to get the guy then? It didn't make any sense. I know Gruden and Mack had their problems, but you know what? There was a little bit of method to the madness there. I could kind of see something like Malcolm Kuntz. I could see that they got him middle rounds. I could see them, he's like Yannick Ngakoue. We got Ngakoue for 2 years. We can coach this guy up and he can be the next guy in line to take that position. I could kind of see that. What am I seeing here? Please show me. I mean, it's almost like they have tryouts off the street. They got a posting on Craigslist to find a cornerback or something, or a linebacker. It's amazing. Where are they finding these guys? And then you'll see videos. Oh, we signed Jim Bob. It's like, well, who the hell is that? Some guy in the CFL, some guy who was an undrafted free agent, some guy who washed out of 4 teams and now he's on our team and he's getting burnt every other play. I mean, tell me why I should be optimistic. Give me something. Please give me something I should be optimistic about with this new regime, because it's already been a year. I'm already losing faith, guys. I'm already losing faith. Let's see. Raider Wolf says Raider organization screwed over Dennis Allen and Derek Carr. They're probably talking about how they're going to screw over the organization back. Can't say that word. Maybe. Dennis Allen, Mr. Sharpie, as I call him, was not impressed with that guy in the least bit. I think some of it had to do with Bill Musgrave being there, but I was not impressed with him. Not a whole lot of fire. Kind of like McDaniels, let's be honest. But now he's got better players, especially on the defensive side. My God, imagine if we had a Cam Jordan. I mean, that's number one, defensive tackle. Number one, that's what we talked about. So, but yeah, I'm tired of the Raiders being the butt of the jokes. This has happened since, frankly, Al lost his mental capabilities, in my opinion, and it continues on with his idiot son. I can't say the other word. I'll probably get in trouble. So, you know what I'm talking about, though. Be the revenge at Allen and Carr. Derek Carr's career could go full circle, says Raider Wolf, if he goes with the head coach he started with. Maybe. I think he'll do better there. Chris Olave is a good talent. Michael Thomas is a joke. I don't know why they keep that guy around. They've wasted so much money on him. Excuse me. But I think overall they're run a little bit better, of course, personnel-wise, obviously. And they actually invest in the defense on that team. They have for years, and they're kind of sneaky good. I'm not going to say Derek Carr's going to win a Super Bowl there, but he'll have more success. He'll probably win a playoff game there, maybe even next year. And then the Raiders are really going to look stupid. Psycho Jackal's in the house. How you doing? I hate this damn new regime. I was optimistic. I honestly was optimistic. Let's trust the process. They keep talking about the process. So far, not so good though. Again, tell me something I should be optimistic about. One thing. Tell me one thing about this regime that I should be optimistic about on the field. I know the Raiders are going to make money and they're in Vegas. I mean, even an idiot like Mark Davis can make money in Vegas. Come on. So, wasn't the Saints defense ranked 5? I think they were in the top 10. I'm not sure what number they were. I could look that up if you want. And again, the rankings are going to be different based on how you do it. So, could look that up. Hang on. Let's see. So I'll look it up. But when I do the rankings, what I do is I go by yards. When you see those, we're 28th last year. We're 28th overall in yardage per game. And you have to do it per game because the stupid league cancels games. Not everybody played 17 games. All right, let me pull it up. Guys. All right. Saints are 5th. Oh, let me. You're right. You get a prize. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. There it is. You're right. All right. I think I'm going to make that the pinned comment, guys. Hey, why not? I'm going to make that the pinned comment. You're absolutely correct. They were 5th overall in yards as far as defensive goes. Let's see where the Raiders were. Oh, yes, 28th. There they are. Woohoo. Woohoo, 28th. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. So, anyway, let's see. I mean, that's the defense that completely shut out the Raiders. They're pretty damn good. They're good. Cam Jordan went crazy in that game. That was kind of the beginning of the end for our interior offensive line. Let's be honest here. Dylan Parham got an education by Cam Jordan that game. Hey, rookie, you're getting educated. That's what happened. But still, even that, I mean, you don't cross the 50-yard line until 2-minute warning. That's a fucking joke. It's a joke. McDaniels is a joke. I even put it on my game review. I put the headstone. This season's over, guys. Oh no, we still got a chance. So we got Houston, and we got these terrible teams coming up. Jacksonville, which we lost. No. This season's good, done. It's over. Let's see. That game was totally weird. Yeah, it was Halloween weekend. Remember the Halloween weekend? We went down there into Voodoo Land, and I don't know. Maybe they put Josh McDaniels under a spell. I don't know, but a lot of craziness in this new regime. That you've got the Indianapolis game that we lost to Jeff Saturday, takes over the team. What a week before Frank Reich got fired, head coach. And then their offensive, I don't even know the guy's name. The offensive coordinator never called any plays ever, let alone an NFL game, and they beat us. How the hell did that happen? How the hell did Baker Mayfield come on a short week, 2 or 3 days, go to the Rams, start, and beat us on like an 80-yard drive at the end? I mean, come on, people. Come on. Raiders are 28th. Yep. That whole game, I felt like they were told to tank, and New Orleans was in on it. Carr looked pissed, like he wanted to say something. It wasn't just that. Carr was overthrowing Devontae in that game too. His accuracy wasn't that great. It wasn't just on that. So Officer Rollout says, feeling old tonight. The Mrs. High School Sweetheart, Ted Hendricks, saw him on a rerun of Hawaii Five-0 on TV Land today. Well, yeah. Yeah. Ted Hendricks, rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, that's why they call Mad Max the Condor, because he was the Mad Storks, and he's got those long arms. He kind of plays, they kind of play similarly. I think Max is a little bigger. I think they're probably about as tall. And I know Hendricks is pretty tall, but I think Max is a bigger guy though. But they reminds a little reminder there. Yeah, you old school people. Let's see. I'm going into full conspiracy mode. Well, I did that for a few weeks, and people got really pissed off at me. I was saying these games were rigged. The whole thing with Chandler Jones and the Patriots at the end was a rig. The Rams game was a rig, it looked like. And people got all upset. I got a lot of thumbs down on those, obviously. So, well, it is what it is. You tell me what it is. You tell me what this is about. Raider Wolf says, because our defense sucked. It's been sucking for 20 years. They've never fixed the defense. It's always offense. So stupid. Yeah. Who's running the team? Who's run the team for 20 years? When you got shit at the top, the shit rolls down. That's what happens. Very mismanaged. Psycho Jackal says, what do you think of magnetized footballs? All right. We're going to go into full conspiracy mode tonight, huh? It's like, okay. There's some thought to that. I mean, I did talk about that during those weeks where I was getting all those thumbs down. If you want a thumbs down, go for it, because you know what? YouTube counts it like a thumbs up, so it's all good. Don't ask me why, but if you do like it, thumbs up it, and then it shows me if you like the content, what I'm saying. If not, then I have to change it up. That's all. But as far as the magnetic footballs go, there is some logical reasoning to that. If you look at just the mere number of field goals that have hit uprights and crossbars over the last 2, 3, 4 seasons or whatever, versus, like I said, I saw the last time the Raiders won the Super Bowl. That's how old I am. You would hardly ever see field goals hitting uprights. You see that shit all the time now. That and all these one-handed catches, it's so easy now. You didn't see that back in the day. I know people get bigger, faster, and stronger, but still, it's a little too much. It's a little too much going on. He's still alive just like me. I thought he passed away. Oh, well, good for you, Kick him. Psycho Jackal, the gloves being magnetic as well. Yes, so many one-handed catches. Oh, we're on the same wavelength, I think. Yes, you guys, I love the Raiders. I hope they rig it for us once. They don't need to rig it for us. That's the whole point. I mean, if you look at it, Al Davis was the bad guy from the beginning. Didn't want to do the merger. Thought the AFL could beat the NFL straight away. And then little wormy, sneaky little Lamar Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs owner, snuck in, I mean, Al Davis was the commissioner, snuck in and helped work the merger. I mean, there's animosity, Pete Rozelle, that piece of crap, the league's had it for the Raiders ever since. So let's see. Red Wolf says, well, now you got me thinking, because you never really see one-handed catches so much before all of a sudden everybody's doing one-handed. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the first one to do it, but he really stood out was Odell Beckham doing it. But now it's like everybody does it. It's like, what the hell, I could see like maybe one or two receivers are so damn good that they can come up and grab those kind of balls, but it's like everybody's doing it, just like no names, just like, decent receivers are doing it now. What the hell? So why the hell why weren't there more people doing it back in the day is my point. Get you thinking. I get my magnets in a discreet brown envelope. Is that with the blue pills too? There, Officer Rollout? I don't know. You can talk about that. You can talk about that on your stream. Now, Officer Rollout said he's going to be doing a stream. That should be very interesting. Maybe we'll do a collaboration on that. We'll talk about football and God knows what else. I think you Raider fans, just for the entertainment value, should catch that when that happens. I'll let you know, but that'll be at least some good comedy out of it, if not some good football knowledge. All right, we're over an hour. Wow, I've been talking too damn much. Been trying to get some of the technical issues done. I think I'm going to turn StreamYard off next time and just go with the app, the Twidget app, and hopefully that'll work. Every other time it's worked. This time it's not worked, so I'm going to go with that. We're going to close the polling. So if you want to get it on this online polling, I asked you, how will the Derek Carr saga end? Is he going to be traded to the Saints? Is he going to be traded to a different team? There was reports that there was a second team involved in this too. Nobody's saying who. I couldn't find out who. Maybe that's just smoke. Who knows? Will he be released before the February 15th deadline? Or will he be kept like Jimmy G? I'm kind of at the point where that would probably be what I would pick second. I think he's going to get released. That's my opinion. But of the other three, with this regime and how incompetent they've looked so far, what if we bring Derek Carr back next season as our quarterback? What could that possibly happen? I mean, remember, San Francisco 49ers talked about shipping Jimmy G, very vocal about it. Went and drafted Trey Lance. Jimmy G's still on the team. He's a free agent now. He's an unrestricted free agent now. But with this, show the poll. It's at the top. If you look in your chat, go to the very top. You'll see the poll there. You'll see the live poll. I'm going to close it. And then once I close it, you can't vote. There'll be 4 choices. You click one. And then it should show you the percentages after you click. I can't show the results of the poll right now until I close it. So you have to vote in the poll, and then you'll see. But remember, Jimmy G, similar type of situation. This has been like a circus so far. I thought the whole Gruden Mayock era was a circus. I thought these guys would be more competent. I don't have the faith in these guys. I don't have the faith in this regime. I definitely don't have the faith in the owner. I mean, complete boob, Tommy Boy. I've called him Tommy Boy, Chris Farley movie since years now. So Could it happen? Could we have another Jimmy G scenario? It could happen. So I'm going to close this out, give you guys 5, 4. I know there's a little bit of a delay. 3, 2, show the cats then. I'm not showing the cats. They hear me talking and they want a certain thing starting with a T. I don't want to say the word. If they're good, they get them, you know, like trick or in a, when you go for Halloween candy. If I say that word, then they'll get really excited. So they're just laying down. They hear me talking and they start meowing. So, and they've been good. So they probably will get that. So I'm going to end the poll right now. So the poll has ended and there are the results right there in the chat. So over half of you say trade to the States. I hope so. I hope so. For anything, we can get some draft capital out of him, out of this situation. Obviously, this regime stepped in the dog poop. But if we can wash it off before we track it all through the house, that would be great. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. If we can get, even if we can get a 3rd round pick. I mean, Derek Carr for a 3rd round pick to me is a steal. I would say 2nd round at least. Matt Stafford, they got 3 firsts and Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. And Stafford's numbers are like, if you looked at Stafford's numbers before the Rams and Derek Carr, Stafford would be literally that much better. And Jared Goff's kind of panning out, especially this year with Detroit. So absolute steal for them. And they went and got Hutchinson last year. Detroit, that division, Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone one way or the other, even if he doesn't retire and he doesn't come to the Raiders, he's going to go somewhere else. I don't think he's going to be staying with Packers. The other teams, Minnesota's kind of flaky. They got talent. The Bears, Justin Fields is there, but can they field the rest of the team? They let the defense kind of slip. So Detroit's got a chance to make some noise next year. All right. Anybody got anything else? I'm going to close this out. I do want to thank you, especially if you've been here this long. I got a lot of faithful fans here. I got 8 in here. I did start at 7 o'clock. Do you guys like 7 o'clock Pacific time, Raider time? Or do you like the old 6 o'clock? Because what I was finding the last couple times before this, I hardly found anybody in here until 6:30, 7 o'clock. Then people started coming in. That's why I moved it to 7 o'clock. I figure people getting off work, getting a beverage, eating dinner, what have you, and they come on. That's fine. That's why I started at 7 o'clock. If you liked 7 o'clock, put it in the chat, put 7 o'clock. If you like 6 o'clock better, put 6 o'clock. Or if you don't really care either way, put that down too. So I want to know what you guys have to say about that. Because, without you guys, there's no show. There's no show. I've talked about this before. If I want to have a YouTube channel, I'm not going to, I would just make videos. I'm doing live streams because I want to interact with you guys. I want to present things, present interesting topics, present my opinion on things, things you might not be hearing in other places. And then I want to get your feedback on it. I mean, that's the whole point of the live stream. So put that down in the chat right now. Again, thank you. If you have not subscribed, especially if you're watching this on a replay. Like I said, I get a lot of people watching these replays. They're like an hour long. And they probably just put them on the background. Obviously, you're not watching and listening to everything I say, especially when we get to the Q&A section. But why not subscribe so you can be here with us and be involved with this chat? And I promise I'll get the Twidget back up. You get your comments back up, especially the good ones. I love to put those funny ones up there. Those are hilarious as well. And I don't think I get in as much trouble if it's written down on the side versus me saying it. For real, I got busted off TikTok for a week because I said a bad word. Well, technically not a bad word, but a sensitive word. So yeah, put it in the comments. I want to thank you guys for coming. I'm going to close out the restream chat. If you got any other final comments here, put them up now. Put them up now or forever hold your peace. Let's do that. Again, I appreciate you guys coming out here. Unfortunately, I could not get the Twidget to work tonight. I truly think it had something to do with the StreamYard being up as well and it creating difficulties. Again, the StreamYard, I think the chat's going to be okay. I know sometimes with the restream, the connection's been an issue. So I wanted, if I'm going to do anything, at least use that portion of StreamYard for that. But the other part's not really functional. Like I said, the banner down here, I can't do that unless I pay 20 or 30 bucks a month. I was like, why should I do that? I already have it on OBS. This makes no sense. You can't change certain colors in the background and stuff. It's like they try to nickel and dime you for things. So the big thing I wanted to do was the green screen, so you can still see kind of part of it. I don't look like I'm radioactive anymore. I worked on that. It used to be like all green, so at least it looks a little better now. So just keep getting better. So again, appreciate you guys coming out. Put in the comments if you prefer 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, midnight. I know some of you probably would love midnight, after hours, adult swim, whatever. So thank you guys. And as always, go Raiders.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.